Thank you for joining me today, and I am your host, Justin Avalos, and my preferred pronouns are handsome and rich. As always, make sure you tune in Thursdays for our Thirsty Thursday segment and every Monday for the latest news. We start by giving you the latest in the election updates. Now, Texas has been joined by 17 other red states in its long-shot Supreme Court lawsuit to try and overturn the election results. States such as Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Utah have formally joined Texas in its Supreme Court suit against Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. 4 battleground states who ran illegal and unconstitutional elections, the state of Texas said in a statement. The joining states agree with Texas. The defendant states exploited the COVID-19 pandemic to justify unlawfully enacting last-minute changes and ignoring both federal and state election laws, thus skewing the results of the 2020 general election. Now, sadly, the Supreme Court rejected the lawsuit from the Texas Attorney General, and by the time that this is released, we will have heard news of the finalization of the Electoral College, and we'll update you with all of the results that come to us. In reaction to the Supreme Court dismissing the lawsuit, the state's Republican Party chairman, Alan West, stated that perhaps law-abiding states, should bond together and form a union of states that will abide by the Constitution. So I guess if that happens, at least, we will have the people with guns on our side to defend against the people armed with essential oils and hashtag woke shirts on. But, we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully Texas doesn't concede from the union or whatever is going to happen with that. But in further news, I guess CoffeeTime will be canceled soon due to YouTube's latest policy update. On Wednesday, YouTube announced that they will begin removing any content alleging widespread voter fraud alleging that widespread voter fraud had influenced the outcome of the 2020 presidential election, which is funny because content stating that the 2016 election was rigged and had fraud still remain on their site today. Of course, this video will be fact-checked and most likely removed because according to the mainstream media, there is no evidence of fraud out there. But maybe it's because they censor the evidence being provided to them. Not sure how that really works, but, we'll see with that. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were recently named Person of the Year, which confused me for a moment, but then I realized nowadays we can refer to a singular person as they, them, so I guess anything's possible. But it wasn't really a surprise to me that they had won with the contributions they made in 2020. Of course, being on the front lines of the pandemic, helping struggling businesses by doing bailout loans, and let's not forget by pushing for a travel restriction from China in order to prevent a larger scale spread. Oh wait, they did none of that. Kamala's only achievement was losing the Democratic debate and was simply chosen as a running mate because of the color of her skin and her gender, which, of course, we better not, assume what her gender is, God forbid. But we all know why Joe won. He isn't like that racist politician who backed a crime bill that targeted Latino and Black communities. At least he didn't say that Black people should be classified as super predators, or if you didn't vote for him, then you weren't Black. Heavens, Joe Biden is our beacon of hope. He wants to unite the people, not tear them apart by calling the opposing party racist bigots and homophobes. So we applaud the man who will bring this nation to its knees. Bring this nation into an era of division. Diversity. My bad. So this is the world we live in today. This is where a lot of things don't really make sense to me. And a lot of people, of course, don't like my opinions. They want to tell people to censor me. They want to have a narrative that only simplifies their narrative, in a sense. But that's not going to work. Now, again, Monday, the Electoral College will come together and certify the election. And if it does come to be that Joe Biden is our new president-elect, then he's our president-elect. There's not really much I can do about that. There will be a lot of upset citizens out there, of course. But it's going to be interesting because we're going to find out very quick whether the world made or the U.S. made a correct choice or not. We're going to be finding out real quick. And we're going to find out if he really is a man of his word. Of course, in the debates, he did flip-flop on a lot of his positions, stating that he was for the new Green New Deal, and then a moment later stating that he wasn't. He was for defunding police, and then he wasn't. Even the Black Lives Matter organization, whenever they found out that they were going to win the election, quote unquote, they tried getting a meeting with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and no response. 32 days, no response. It's kind of funny how you're supposed to be the proponent saying that this organization is doing good and that you're going to do everything you can to help the black community. Yet when the black community does reach out to you, you're nowhere to be found. I guess you're too busy playing with your dog or, attending Thanksgiving dinners, even though the rest of us can't even be with our families. But hey, I'm about to be fact-checked. I'm about to be canceled. I'm about to be called the worst names out there, most likely. Do I care? Not really. I'm here to bring y'all the news, and I'm here to give my opinions. I'm here to have a good time with my boy Captions, have some coffee, have a few laughs. That's pretty much it on my part. Hopefully y'all listen. Hopefully y'all have a conversation out there. And hopefully y'all listen to these opposing views. Because that's all we're going to have left. We're already being censored. Everything's being fact-checked. Everything's being brought up as hate speech. So when do we start fighting back? When do we start being the America that didn't stand the government telling us what to do? I don't know what's going to happen in the future. All I can say is I hope that we can come together at some point. Even though, the names have been called, the gauntlet's been thrown, and we've been thrown against our own people just because we have an opposing view. But let's get together. Let's have these discussions. I still want to bring y'all this news. Of course, by the time this is released, again, the Electoral College will come together. And we'll see what happens. I still have hope for this country. I feel like we're allowing people to put us in a state of fear to where we're just going to comply. But we can't live in that fear. We can't simply go into the night. I sound like a Batman movie right now. That's kind of weird. But anyway, that's it for this podcast news. Please be sure to join us every Thursday for our Thursday segments, every Monday for this hot podcast news. And I'm going to talk about other things that are going on. I don't want to just stick to election and how the world's going to hell. I want to talk about the positive stuff. So far right now, there really isn't much positive other than, the COVID vaccine is going to be distributed in the U.S., which I believe is good news. I myself am not going to take the vaccine. I think the best way for me to be exposed to the virus is to expose myself to the virus. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, we'll see y'all in the next video.